Have you ever wondered how a simple act of kindness can change a person's life forever? Kindness, a virtue so simple yet so profound, has the power to transform lives in unimaginable ways. It's like a pebble tossed into a pond, creating ripples that reach far beyond the initial splash. Now let's take this concept and view it through the lens of ancient wisdom, specifically Proverbs 19:17. This verse from the time-honored book of Proverbs holds a message that resonates deeply, even in our modern world. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. At first glance it may seem straightforward, but the depth of this proverbial wisdom is truly astounding. Join us now as we delve into the wisdom of Proverbs 19:17 and the blessings that come with kindness to the poor. We'll unravel its rich layers, examine its relevance today, and explore how we can embody this powerful message in our everyday lives. Scene script. Proverbs 19:17 says, "Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done." It's a verse that is simple yet profound, inviting us to explore its depths. Let's delve into the heart of this message. The verse begins with, "Whoever is kind to the poor." Here we see a call to kindness, specifically towards those in need. The second phrase, "lends to the Lord," is intriguing. It suggests that our acts of kindness are not just to the poor, but are seen as a loan to the Almighty. Finally, He will reward them for what they have done. This phrase promises that acts of kindness won't go unnoticed. They carry with them a divine promise of reward. A profound message, isn't it? But to fully understand it, let's look at its historical and literary context. The book of Proverbs, a treasure trove of wisdom, was written in a time and culture quite different from ours. To fully grasp the depth of Proverbs 19:17, it's essential to understand the historical and literary context in which it was written. The book of Proverbs is part of the wisdom literature of the Old Testament, widely believed to have been written by King Solomon around the 10th century BCE. During this time, Israelite society was primarily agrarian, with a stark division between the rich and the poor. The poor, often marginalized, were seen as the responsibility of the entire community. This societal structure shaped the themes and teachings found in the book of Proverbs, including the emphasis on kindness to the poor. The poor in biblical times were not merely those with less wealth. They were often the destitute, the widows, the orphans, and the foreigners, essentially those unable to support themselves. Helping the poor was not just a matter of charity, but a duty, a concrete expression of love and respect for all God's creation. Proverbs, as a literary style, are succinct, potent sayings that encapsulate moral and ethical principles. They are not promises or laws, but general observations about life, designed to guide moral conduct and instill wisdom. Proverbs 19:17 is a prime example of this, offering insightful guidance on the virtue of kindness. The verse's emphasis on lending to the Lord by being kind to the poor reflects a profound theological insight. In the Hebrew faith, God is seen as the ultimate provider and caregiver, and by helping the poor, one is participating in God's divine work. The promise of repayment from the Lord underscores the principle of divine justice and reciprocity, a concept deeply ingrained in the Jewish faith. So, when we read Proverbs 19:17, it's not just a call to be kind to the poor. It's a reflection of a societal structure that valued communal responsibility, a literary style that encapsulated wisdom, and a theological principle that saw God's hand in acts of kindness. With this context in mind, let's break down the verse and explore its profound meaning. Kindness to the poor, lending to the Lord, and divine reward. What does it all mean? As we delve into the analysis of Proverbs 19:17, we uncover a profound truth about the nature of kindness. The phrase kindness to the poor isn't merely about charity. It's a call to see beyond societal divisions and recognize the inherent dignity in every human being. When we extend kindness to those less fortunate, we're not just giving materially, but also sharing a part of our humanity. Lending to the Lord might sound strange at first, but think about it this way. When we help others, we're aligning ourselves with God's purpose. It's as if we're investing in His divine mission. And the divine reward? It's not necessarily material wealth or immediate gratification. It's the inner peace, joy, and fulfillment that comes from living a life of purpose and compassion. This wisdom from thousands of years ago carries a message that is still relevant in our modern world. But how does this ancient wisdom translate into our everyday lives, you might ask? Well, let me share a couple of stories that exemplify this principle. Consider the small community in Ohio, where local businesses banded together to provide food, clothing, and shelter to struggling families during a harsh winter. Their kindness was returned manifold when the community, now back on its feet, supported these businesses in their time of need. Or, take the example of a young woman from Texas who started a tutoring program for underprivileged kids. Not only did the children's grades improve, but they also learned valuable life skills. And the woman found her life's calling in education. Finally, let's not forget the numerous organizations worldwide, such as the Salvation Army and the Red Cross, that embody the principle of kindness to the poor. They tirelessly work to uplift those in need, and in return, they earn the gratitude and blessings of millions. These real-life examples illustrate the timeless truth of Proverbs 19:17. Now it's your turn to reflect and act. Let's take a moment and consider how we can integrate this profound teaching from Proverbs into our daily lives. How can we show kindness to the poor, to those in need? It's not always about material wealth. Sometimes it's about giving time, attention, or emotional support. Let's challenge ourselves. Let's look around and find ways to be a blessing to others. It could be as simple as buying a meal for a homeless person, offering a listening ear to someone who is lonely, or volunteering your time to a local charity. Then take it one step further. Share your experiences with others. You never know who might be inspired by your actions, who might join you in this journey of spreading kindness. Remember, your act of kindness could be a blessing in someone's life. So let's spread kindness and make a difference.